This is going to be a big concern for a lot of folks in the days to come. Certainly a big concern for folks in the Yucatan right now as we monitor this system. It is packing some wind speeds of 45 miles per hour. Those are the max sustained winds. And what you'll find is that we have some concerns, and we've got some warnings that are up here right along the coast here of the Yucatan, continuing into the Guatemala, Belize area, and then here over Honduras. Most of this is a watch area, but there is an area too where we have a warning. And the biggest concerns here with this system as it continues to push across the Yucatan is that it is going to dump some very heavy amounts of rainfall on this area. And as that happens, that very easily could lead to flooding as well as mudslides. And that is a big concern for the folks that live in this area. As we watch this too, it's going to continue here to push across the Yucatan. And then you know where it's going to be headed next. That's going to continue on its path here, moving into the Gulf of Mexico. Now, as we watch this crossing the Gulf, what's going to happen here is, one, it's moving into very warm waters. Also, what you're going to find is there's not a lot of shear. So with more on why this system potentially is going to strengthen, here's Dr. Rick Knapp.
So it's June, and the waters in the Western Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico are very warm, and that's providing the fuel for Tropical Storm Alex. The waters over the Western Caribbean where Alex has formed are in the mid-80s, and once it gets to the Gulf of Mexico, likewise. One difference between the Western Gulf and the Caribbean, however, is that in the Western Caribbean, the waters are warm even beneath the surface to some extent. Over the Western Gulf, the waters get a little chillier once you get beneath the surface. But other than that, the ocean temperatures seem to be favorable for strengthening of Alex once it gets into the Gulf of Mexico. What about the atmospheric environment, which is another major factor in whether or not a tropical storm can strengthen or not? The upper level environment right now for Alex is extremely favorable for strengthening. Look at this upper level high pressure system circulating around the top of Alex. No wind shear across Alex right now to tear the thunderstorm activity apart. That environment is probably going to follow Alex over into the Gulf of Mexico. But between here and there is the Yucatan Peninsula. That is one bump in the road that could delay or prevent Alex from intensifying and reorganizing over the Gulf too quickly. Unfortunately, Alex is going to have about 3 days over the Gulf of Mexico to get its act together and re-strengthen. So we'll have to wait and see what form Alex is in when it emerges over the Gulf on Monday morning.